Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. If you're a BTS fan or anyone interested in vocals and K-pop, today's video is absolutely a must-watch. Why? Because we're going to reveal the secret behind Jimin BTS's golden vocals that has been making everyone curious. And trust me, what Jimin does is totally unexpected. So don't skip this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our latest updates. Okay guys, let's dive right in. So recently, Jimin BTS finally opened up in an exclusive interview uploaded on the official Bangtan channel. And you know what? Jimin's revelation this time really shocked a lot of people, including fellow idols and even professional vocal coaches. Jimin revealed the unique way he maintains his vocal health, and it's not the conventional method usually taught in vocal schools or by experts. This is really something super simple but rarely done by singers, especially K-pop idols with their incredibly packed schedules. Now, before we dive deeper, you'd probably agree that Jimin's vocals are absolutely incredible, right? His emotional voice, beautiful falsetto, and ability to sing live while performing extremely demanding choreography is seriously no joke. Many fans and even music critics acknowledge that Jimin has one of the most unique and touching vocals in the K-pop industry. But guess what, guys? Behind all that greatness, there are sacrifices and habits that might sound strange or even extreme. So first of all, the most shocking thing Jimin admitted is that he doesn't rely on medications or expensive supplements for his vocals at all. This is truly surprising because most professional singers definitely have a lineup of vitamins and special supplements for their vocal cords. But Jimin, he chooses a more natural and sustainable approach. And one of the most extreme habits he does is speaking as little as possible on days leading up to concerts or recording sessions. Guys, can you imagine? Jimin literally becomes a talking statue when a concert is approaching. The other BTS members even joked about this. V once shared on a variety show that Jimin would communicate using hand gestures, facial expressions, or even write on his phone if he really needed to convey something. Just imagine, in the middle of super hectic concert preparations, Jimin goes into silent mode like that. At first, the other members were confused and thought Jimin was being too serious or over the top. But after seeing the results on stage, they all admitted that Jimin's method is indeed proven to be extremely effective. Now, why does Jimin do this? According to Jimin's explanation, vocal cords are very sensitive muscles that need adequate rest. Every time we speak, our vocal cords work and vibrate. If we continuously use them without proper rest, the vocal cords can become fatigued or even injured. And for a singer who needs to perform with prime vocals, this is a risk that cannot be taken. So by doing extreme vocal rest like this, Jimin ensures that his vocal cords are in their best condition when he has to perform on stage. And secondly, guys, Jimin also has a habit that you might notice if you often see photos or videos of Jimin. He always, and I repeat, always wears something covering his neck. Whether it's a scarf, turtleneck, or hoodie, even in air-conditioned rooms, Jimin still wears neck protection. Why? Because Jimin is very disciplined about keeping his body temperature warm, especially around his neck and chest area. Jimin explains that vocal cords are extremely sensitive to temperature changes. When the muscles around the throat become tense due to cold, the vocal cords will work harder, and this can cause vocal fatigue or even more serious injury. That's why maintaining warmth in the throat area is Jimin's top priority. And what's even more amazing is that Jimin even carries a kind of portable heating pad that he can use to compress his neck before and after singing. He got this from advice from a veteran vocal coach who worked with opera singers. Turns out this method has long been used by classical singers to prepare their vocal cords before performances. Okay, now let's get to the food and drinks part, guys. This is equally interesting. So Jimin is super duper careful about what he consumes. He avoids food that's too hot or too cold because it can irritate the throat. Jimin also reduces his consumption of spicy food, even though he actually really loves Korean food, which tends to be spicy. Just imagine, guys, he has to resist the urge to eat super spicy tteokbokki or ramyeon. This must be really hard for a Korean person who's been used to spicy food since childhood. But for the sake of his vocals, Jimin is willing to sacrifice. As a substitute, Jimin more often eats warm soup, porridge, and foods that are soft and easy to digest. These foods are not only good for digestion, but also won't irritate the throat. And about drinks, guys, Jimin doesn't drink alcohol, soda, or high-caffeine beverages before performances at all. Warm water is his best friend, and he always carries a thermos bottle wherever he goes. There's an interesting story here, guys. Jimin once refused an offer of coffee from an MC on a television show because he knew that caffeine could dry out his throat. The MC was a bit confused, but Jimin politely explained his reasons and actually received appreciation for his incredible discipline. Now, we're getting to the part that I think is most interesting, guys. So it turns out, the way Jimin practices vocals is completely different from most singers. Most people think that singers should always practice with full power to make their vocals strong. But Jimin, he actually more often trains breath control and voice placement by singing almost in a whisper. Yes, guys, you heard that right. Jimin practices with very low volume. He believes that this way, he can feel in more detail how air moves through his vocal cords and how each note is produced. This method helps him avoid forcing his voice and prevents strain that could damage vocal cords in the long run. This is really revolutionary thinking, guys. And the result? We can all see for ourselves how stable Jimin's vocals are on stage, even though he has to dance with super demanding choreography. And what really impresses me is that Jimin also never shouts or speaks loudly outside of work. Imagine, guys, even when playing games or watching sports matches that usually make us want to scream, Jimin still restrains himself. This is a very high level of discipline considering Jimin is quite an expressive and energetic person. But he's very aware that every time he forces his voice outside the context of singing, he's actually taking an unnecessary risk. Okay, guys, now let's talk about mental health and its relationship with vocals. Jimin strongly believes that mental and emotional health have a direct impact on voice quality. This makes so much sense, guys. When we're stressed or anxious, the muscles around the throat tend to become tense, and this can affect sound production. That's why Jimin regularly does meditation and yoga to keep his mind calm. He also often does breathing exercises, which are not only good for vocals, but also for overall mental health. And equally important, guys, adequate sleep. This is a golden rule that Jimin never breaks. He makes sure to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every night, especially before performance days. Jimin explains that when the body is tired, the vocal cords will also be tired and performance will drastically decline. He even once apologized to fans because he had to cancel some promotional events so he could rest adequately before a concert. This shows how seriously Jimin prioritizes his vocal health in order to give the best performance for ARMY. Now, guys, hydration is also an important aspect that Jimin pays a lot of attention to. He doesn't just drink enough water, but also uses a humidifier in his room every night to maintain air humidity. Air that's too dry can make the throat and vocal cords dry and irritated. Jimin even carries a portable humidifier when he has to travel or stay in hotels. His attention to small details like this shows an extraordinary commitment to his profession as a singer. The most interesting and honestly most inspiring thing about all of Jimin's confessions is the fact that he learned a lot from mistakes he made in the past. Jimin admits that at the beginning of his career, he experienced quite serious vocal problems because he pushed himself too hard and didn't understand how to care for his voice properly. He once experienced quite severe hoarseness and was worried he wouldn't be able to perform at an important concert. That painful experience became a turning point for him to really get serious about studying vocal anatomy and ways to maintain vocal cord health. And guys, this is an important lesson for all of us. Jimin isn't ashamed to admit his mistakes and actually learn from that experience. He became more aware and more disciplined in caring for his vocals. Jimin also doesn't hesitate to consult with various experts, from ENT doctors, vocal coaches, to physical therapists who specialize in treating singers. He's very open to learning and trying various methods, then adjusting them to his own body's needs. Jimin believes that every singer has unique vocal characteristics, and there's no one method that works for everyone. That's why it's really important to know your own body and find the most personally effective way. What's also fascinating, guys, is how Jimin approaches warming up before performances. Unlike many singers who might spend hours doing intense vocal exercises, Jimin takes a more gentle and mindful approach. He starts with light humming exercises and gradually builds up the intensity. He never forces his voice to wake up quickly. Instead, he allows his vocal cords to warm up naturally and progressively. This patience and understanding of his own instrument is what sets Jimin apart from many other performers in the industry. Another thing worth mentioning is Jimin's relationship with his vocal coach. Even after years of experience and incredible success, Jimin still maintains regular contact with his vocal instructors. He's not someone who thinks he knows everything. Instead, he remains humble and continues to seek guidance and feedback. This continuous learning mindset is crucial for any artist who wants longevity in their career. Jimin understands that vocals can change over time, and that staying connected with professionals helps him adapt and maintain his voice quality as he ages. Jimin's dedication to his vocals is also evident from the way he interacts with fans, guys. He often gives tips and advice to fans who also want to become singers through Weverse or during live streaming. Jimin always emphasizes the importance of patience and consistency in caring for the voice. He reminds us that there are no shortcuts in developing healthy and strong vocals. Everything takes time, proper practice, and most importantly, awareness to maintain vocal cord health every day. Now guys, let's recap what unique and shocking habits Jimin does to protect his vocal cords. First, extreme vocal rest by speaking as little as possible before concerts. Second, always keeping the neck warm by wearing scarves or turtlenecks and using a portable heating pad. Third, being very selective with food and drinks, avoiding things that are too hot, cold, spicy, or caffeinated. Fourth, practicing vocals at low volume to train control and voice placement. Fifth, never shouting or speaking loudly outside of work. Sixth, regular meditation and yoga for mental health. Seventh, adequate sleep of at least 7 to 8 hours. And lastly, maintaining hydration with warm water and using a humidifier. Guys, Jimin's confession really provides a new perspective on what actually happens behind the scenes of an idol's life. Many people only see the perfect performance on stage without realizing how much effort and sacrifice is made to reach that standard. Jimin proves that being a professional singer isn't just about natural talent, but also about discipline, knowledge, and long-term commitment to vocal health. The methods Jimin applies might sound extreme or even strange to some people, but the results speak for themselves, guys. Jimin's vocals continue to show improvement year after year, and he's able to maintain his voice quality, even though he's been active for years in this very demanding industry. And most importantly, Jimin can continue to give incredible performances for ARMY around the world. For those of you who are beginner singers or anyone who wants to maintain vocal health, the experience and tips from Jimin can be a really valuable lesson. Taking care of vocal cords is a long-term investment that shouldn't be ignored. And remember, nothing is instant in the vocal world. Everything takes process, patience, and most importantly, consistency. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize something really important, guys. While Jimin's methods work incredibly well for him, it's essential to remember that every voice is different. What works for Jimin might need to be adjusted for your own unique vocal needs. The key takeaway here isn't to copy everything exactly, but to understand the principle behind it, which is respecting your instrument, being consistent with care, and never taking your voice for granted. If you're serious about singing, consider consulting with a professional vocal coach who can guide you based on your specific needs and goals. Okay guys, that's our discussion today about the shocking ways Jimin protects his vocal cords. What do you think? Were you surprised by Jimin's confession? Or maybe some of you have already tried these methods. Share your thoughts in the comments section. I'm really curious to know your reactions. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss other interesting content about K-pop, vocal tips, and behind the scenes of your favorite idols' lives. Turn on the notification bell too, so you'll always get notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. You're the best. See you in the next video. And keep up the spirit for those of you who are learning vocals or chasing your dream to become a singer. Remember, with dedication and the right care, anything is possible. Bye-bye.